Hey guys, I'm Dupree, and today I am teaching you pretty much everything you need to know to start out playing 8-ball. So, 8-ball is just a game. There are 7 striped balls, 7 solid balls, and the 8-ball. So it's 15 balls in total. You break. A player picks a set of balls to shoot for, so you either pick solids or stripes. And then after you've made, let's say we made all of our solids, made all of them, then we have to shoot the 8-ball. And if you make the 8-ball in without scratching, you win. If you scratch on the 8-ball, you lose. Depends on what league you play. If you break, which is the opening shot, the first shot that breaks up all the balls, and you make the 8-ball on the break, you win. So those are just some things to keep in mind. So let's just get into the preferred way of racking. There are many ways to rack 8-ball, but let's just start with the preferred way. So usually there's the one at the top. Some players like the one at the top. And then in one corner there has to be a solid, and in the other corner there has to be a stripe, and the 8-ball has to be in the middle. So the rest are all pretty random. Some players may ask you if you can kind of mix up the stripes or solids more, but we're just going to push it up in the middle of the table to where our front ball is on this line, the second diamond line. So we have it a bit too far up. You can put your fingers in the little gap in the rack like that to push it up. Then we're going to push the rack forward, lift up, and now we're good to break. So usually breaking, players break from close to the middle of the table. We're going to break from about a ball away from the middle of the table. So this is the middle of the table. This is where we're going to break from. This is probably the best spot to break from, in my opinion. You can break from wherever you like, but this is probably the best spot. We're going to play the cue ball with a little bit of top spin. Hit a little bit above the center of the cue ball. And we got 2 solids down. I think that was 2 solids. No, a stripe and a solid, my bad. So now a player would analyze the table. They would look at problem areas. Now what I mean by that is, where on the table is it hard to make a ball? So my eye is naturally drawn to this little cluster right here. I can make the 3 into this pocket, but I can't make the 2 anywhere unless the 2 does not have a pocket to be made unless it can go into the side, which it cannot. But since this 3 is right next to it, if I end up on this side of the 3 and pocket the 3 into that corner, my cue ball is naturally going to come into this 12 and break these 2 balls up. So hopefully that could give us a shot on the 2. But if we were to pick stripes, this 12 doesn't really have what's called a breakout ball. This 3 is called a breakout ball because we can break out a cluster using it. So I would pick solids in this case. We have a good opening shot. And then we can kind of come back here for our 1, but main gist of it, you pick a group of balls, you pocket all those balls, then you pocket the 8-ball. So let's say all of our solids are gone. We made all of our solids. Now we're going to run through a couple of scenarios that happen. So let's say we have our 8-ball into that corner for the win. Bam. So we just won. We won there. But let's just say we're in a situation like this. This is a situation that many amateurs would find easy, but then this happens. They scratch and they lose. So if you scratch on the 8-ball, you lose. That's just what I'm trying to get across to you. So that's a thing you need to keep in mind when you're on your 8-ball. How do I not scratch on this? A better option for that shot would have just to hit it on its right side, so our cue ball plays off that rail naturally. So 8-ball is considered an easy game because you had that luxury of picking a group of 7 balls. As of 9-ball, you have to hit 1 ball specifically. So if I mess up in this game, it's very, very easy to get back on track because you have 6 other balls that you could shoot. So let's just move on to position play. Okay, so I said in the last little segment that we would get to position play, but we're going to just start with aiming because that is more basic, and then we're going to move into position play. So you see that I have 2 cue balls. So I'm just going to teach you quick way aiming. So when players aim, they're aiming along something called the pocket line. So the pocket line is just a line from the ball to the pocket, to the opening of the pocket. It's also called the ghost ball because we could put another ball right there, and wherever that ball is contacted, the ball is sent into the pocket. So we're aiming for the ghost ball. So we know that this cue ball represents where this cue ball needs to contact that ball to send it into that pocket. So this is the line that our dominant leg will be on. This line from the cue ball to the ghost ball. Cue ball to ghost ball. This is the line our dominant foot would be on. So if you're right-handed, your right foot is on this line. It's exactly on this line. And then your other foot is about shoulder width apart. So that way when you get down into your position, your cue naturally falls on that pocket line, this ghost ball line. It's naturally on that, and it won't move off of it unless you move off of it, unless you move the cue off of it. So we can just remove that. Find that ghost ball. We're just going to imagine it. That's where our right foot goes. Then we just get down and we can just pocket it every day. So you could technically not really aim at shots. You could just get down on that pocket line with your cue in your hand, just encased in your hand, and still pocket balls. It's not really good fundamentals, but that just shows you that every shot is already aimed before you even get down on the table. So every shot, every good pool player aims their shots before they're down on the table. Okay, so that was aiming, and now we can get to position play. So there are 5 basic spins in pool, and I'm going to get out some balls and demonstrate them to you now. So 5 basic spins. The ones I'm going to show you are all labeled on my IQ training ball. So we're going to hit center, above center, below center, right English, and left English. So above center, let's shoot them in this pocket because I'm about to use that ball. Center ball would be just a stop shot. Cue ball stops where it is. It loses all energy. When we hit above center on the cue ball, top spin is transferred to the cue ball. When we hit below center on the cue ball, back spin is transferred to the cue ball. When we put a little bit of right spin is transferred to the cue ball. When we put a little bit of left spin is transferred to the cue ball. So these are just the 5 basic spins that we're going to use. And you want to use as little spin as possible. So if you can do center ball or like just a little top spin or a little back spin, that's what we want to go for. So let's say we have a small angle on this 14. So if we hit it with center ball, we can just pop over there for the 8. Let's just empty out this side real quick and go through some more options though. Let's just say that option is blocked by a ball. So we could also play with some top left and go off of that rail. Or you can play with a little bit less top and more left and get even further over there for that 8. Or if this is probably the hardest option I would think of, you could draw off of the rail and back out using a little bit of backspin for the 8 ball. If you were on the other side of the table like that, you could play with top right. This is a very common shot that you need to know. Top right. That spins the cue ball around the table for positional at 8. So there are several different options to get onto a ball. And they're pretty much all located on this little marker right here. On these marks. So that last one we aimed with top right, so about where this 2 is. About in between the 2 and the 3, this is where we aimed, about right here. We are going to use center a lot. We're going to use a little bit below center. This is called stun. When you hit about this line right here, this is called stun. So this is a very good purchase if you are trying to improve your position play and your aiming. So that was it for 8 ball. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, click the like button down below. If you want to be notified when I post again, click the subscribe button and then the bell icon right next to it. That'll just send you an email and a notification saying that I've uploaded a new video. If you have a tutorial request, just let me know down in the comment section, and I will try to do that tutorial for you. I'll do whatever in my power that I can to do that tutorial for you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.